Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Thursday, and it is June 6th. So, how is everybody doing today? Hopefully, everybody's having a fairly good week. Honestly, considering how much news we've had this week, and honestly, at least for the dollar, it's actually been a little bit on the slow side. But sometimes you have to kind of get used to that, I guess. The dollar does have a tendency to really do that quite often. So yeah, anyways, let's get started. Yeah, let's get started right away. And let's start off by looking at the US dollar index. I like to start off by looking at the US dollar index because that is kind of the roadmap to trading all the dollar pairs. I mean, if you know what the dollar index is doing, then you pretty much know what all the dollar pairs are doing also. And I'm going to take a look at the euro dollar, I'm going to take a look at the pound dollar, I'm going to take a look at gold because those are kind of the top viewed videos, they're the top most popular videos, so I want to make sure that people do have a chance to look at that. Then we are going to start taking requests from the audience, so if you do have something you would like me to see, then definitely let me know. I'd be more than happy to take a look at basically anything. So let's get started right away. Let's start off by looking at this US dollar index. First of all, we've had a lot of news this week, like I said. Europe ended up lowering the interest rates this week by 25 basis points, and Canada also lowered the interest rates this week by 25 basis points. And next Wednesday we have not only CPI, but we have CPI and we have interest rate rates on June 12th next Wednesday. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Feds, the U.S., decides to lower their interest rates too. I mean, you would kind of think, based on what's going on with other countries, that they would probably try to lower their interest rates too. But, unemployment numbers today didn't really come out all that great. The SMI manufacturing came out pretty good for the dollar this week, but it's going to be interesting because Powell said right from the beginning that he was not going to be lowering interest rates until we got the 2% CPI, 2% inflation. And as of right now, our inflation is getting close to 2%. Well, actually, it's really not. It's at 3.4. So we're going to have to see if Powell sticks to what he said he was going to do, then we probably will not be lowering interest rates for the dollar next week because CPI is still 3.4. So most likely they will not be lowering interest rates next week, in my opinion. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week with the news. But this week, we still have quite a bit going on. We have the European Parliament election going on starting today, tomorrow, and I think it ends on Sunday. I'm pretty sure on Sunday is when the final Parliament election results will be coming in. And then tomorrow is non-farm payroll for the dollar. We got unemployment numbers, non-farm unemployment numbers coming out tomorrow. And we also have some really good Canadian news. The unemployment change and the unemployment rate is also a really good news event for the Canadian pairs. So, anyways, let's start off by looking at the U.S. dollar index, and then we're going to look at the euro dollar, the pound dollar, and we're going to take a look at gold, and then we'll start taking requests from people in the audience. So, if you do have something, definitely make sure you get it in the chats here on YouTube because I will be starting off by looking at pairs on YouTube for people. So, I mean, I'm just going to do a real quick update on the higher time frames because to me, I think it's extremely important to understand the higher time frames. I'm still looking at this as possibly going down and making a wave C. I still think the 78 or the 100% Fibonacci extension is going to be a very likely area for this to end up. I actually think this is a wave C, so I do definitely expect the dollar to continue up and probably make new highs at some point. I know I have this up here labeled as a wave C too, but honestly, if this right here is a wave C, then most likely the dollar will end up continuing the uptrend. So it's going to be very interesting, I think, this year because there's a lot of elections this year, and obviously this year is an election year in the U.S. too. We're going to be voting for president this year, so it's going to be a pretty interesting year for the dollar for sure. So going down to the 4-hour time frame, I got my Fibonacci retracement on the last push down. You can notice that the dollar has pretty much been sideways all week, and I think a lot of the reason is because of what I just mentioned on the news calendar. We got a lot of news coming out. Between tomorrow and between next week, we had definitely got a lot of news coming out. So there's probably going to be a pretty sideways dollar, at least until tomorrow, non-farm payroll, and then we'll probably have a big explosive move tomorrow, one way or the other, and then honestly, probably Monday, Tuesday next week will probably be a little bit slow for the dollar too, because everybody is going to be waiting in anticipation to see what the Feds do next week. To me, the trend is definitely still down. I still think there's a very, very good chance that the trend will continue down. I still think that maybe this will kind of drift up a little bit tomorrow, or maybe non-farm payroll will cause the dollar to go up. Even if it does, I think that that's just going to be a correction to the downtrend, and I'm still definitely looking at this as a move to the downside at some point at least. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean it does kind of look like the correction is already over, but I could almost argue that this is like an expanding flat right here. You could draw like a couple trend lines on here, and that would be a big old expanding flat pretty easily. It looks like an uptrend. And this right here technically could be three waves down, which is kind of what I'm expecting that it is. And this actually could be a wave C that is actually not even over. I think that more than likely this is what's going to happen on the dollar, in the next 24 hours or so. I think this is an ABC correction. I think we're going to come back up to this channel line, maybe up to the 78 or the 88%. And then it seems to me that tomorrow's non-farm payroll will more than likely cause the dollar to go down. But whatever happens tomorrow is definitely going to be part of setting itself up for next week's interest rate news. Going to be a pretty big deal, I think, next week because everybody is going to be curious to find out whether or not they really do lower interest rates next week or not. Definitely, definitely going to be a very interesting week next week for the dollar and for America for sure. Everybody kind of falls on the dollar sodas to find out whether they're really going to lower interest rates or not, that's for sure. So, I mean, keeping all that information in mind, let's look at the euro dollar, let's look at the pound dollar, let's look at gold, and then we'll start taking requests from people in the audience. So definitely make sure you put your requests in there if you have something you'd like me to look at. If you have not joined my free Discord community, which it looks like most of you already have, definitely do so. It is 100% free to join. You never do have to pay a dime if you do not want to. I would really like to see a really large community of traders that are willing to help each other out. Trading is kind of a lonely business, so the more help you have, the better. The more people you have to fall back on, with ideas and trade ideas and, questions and things like that, the better. So we currently have 5,146 members in the group. Definitely join up and check it out. It is 100% free to join. So, anyways, hey, Holden Hope, how's it going, buddy? Hey, Skywick, how's it going? Ciao, nice to see you again, buddy. Divine, Zen, CD, nice to see everybody. Hey, Quizzy, how's it going, girl? Luma, nice to see you. Coins coming, oh, nice, that's funny. Heck yeah. So, I do totally admit that the euro dollar definitely does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It totally looks like it could be. And if it is a wave 5, then potentially it would go down and make like a wave 1 and a wave 2 and then eventually go back up for a wave 3. I totally admit that that does look like the most likely scenario, but I'm still not really convinced of that scenario. And the reason why is because what I see on the weekly time frame. If this really is the end of a wave 2 and this really is the beginning of a wave 3, then this thing is definitely going to keep on going up. It is most likely not going to make a big old wave 2. It's probably just going to continue to make higher highs and higher lows. So it really depends on whether or not we really are in a wave 3 or not. If we are in that wave 3, then it most likely will just keep on trending up. The euro dollar, we had that euro news today, and honestly, it didn't really do a whole heck of a lot. And according to the dollar index, I would kind of almost lean towards down, between now and tomorrow's news. So, I mean, it kind of depends, I guess. I mean, if tomorrow's news is going to cause this to go down, then it potentially would drift up until then, and then tomorrow it would go down. If tomorrow's news is going to cause it to go up, then it would potentially go down until tomorrow's news and drift up. Based on what I just did on the US dollar index, and based on that information alone, I think there is a pretty good chance that it will go up. Um, I think I think there's a pretty good chance the dollar will go up because to me it looks like impulsive down. I still think this looks like three waves up. It still seems to me like it would make more sense if this actually did go down and take out these lows before it actually did go up. It really doesn't look like a complete ABC correction, I still think. I still don't think this looks like a complete pattern. It looks like it's lacking a wave C. excuse me, it looks like it really needs to go down and make a proper wave C, maybe down to the 50 to 61.8 before it actually does end up continuing back up. But like I said, whatever happens now is definitely going to be setting itself up for the news tomorrow. So if it does drift up, today, then most likely tomorrow's news will cause it to go down. If it actually ends up drifting down today and into tomorrow, then most likely tomorrow's news is going to cause it to go up. Based on what I see on the US dollar, I am definitely leaning towards down, especially when I start looking at all these other dollar pairs. It seems like we're missing this wave C. It kind of seems to me like impulsive down and this whole middle section is all just a wave B and that we're missing a wave C. So I still think that this is more likely, just like I mentioned in my videos earlier, it still seems more likely to me that it is going to end up going down, in my opinion. Let's switch over to the pound dollar. Pound dollar is very similar, and for the exact same reasons as the euro dollar, I'm definitely still bullish. I mean, if you've seen my top-down analysis videos, then you pretty much know that I think this is either a running flat or an expanding flat, which an expanding flat would bring us all the way up here. But either way, I do think that this is likely to go up. Just like the euro dollar, if this is the end of a wave two, which I think it is, and this is likely not to make, lower lows, it's likely to continue to make higher highs and higher lows, and it's likely to just keep on trending up. So bringing it down to the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, like I said, I still think this is five ways up. I think this is a wave one. I still think this is a big WXY, like expanding correction. I mean, and look at this: one down, three up, one down. W, three waves. One up, one down, and then up, three waves. One down, one up, and down, three waves. Definitely looks like a 333 pattern, which is a WXY. And if that's the case, then it actually should be a wave 2. And if it is really a wave 2, then most likely we are in a wave 3. And if this really is a wave 3, then most likely it's not going to go down anytime soon. And I am still calling this a 1, and I still think this is an expanding flat wave 2, and I still think we're in a wave 3 right now. No breaker starts it to the downside, tells me that the trend is definitely still up on the daily time frame. So for now, definitely still bullish on the pound dollar and the euro dollar. But for the exact same reasons as the euro dollar, I feel like there's a pretty good chance that this is going to end up going down. Definitely seems like this should be. This line right here represents next week's interest rate news. I always like to mark out, what are really important news events, because I always try to, think to myself, okay, what's likely to happen between now and this line right here? Because whatever happens between now and this line right here, this line represents a very important news event. So the market is definitely going to be setting itself up for that news, definitely. So we'll see what it ends up doing, but yeah, it definitely seems like it should end up pushing down by the looks of it. I feel like we're missing the wave C. It looks like a wave A. It looks like a wave B. It looks like we're missing the wave C. I mean, to me, it looks like it's to go down to either the 61 or the 78% Fibonacci retracement before we actually get a push up. So, for the exact same reasons as the euro dollar, I do still think this is likely to go down. It honestly might even be like a wave 1 and a wave 2, and it might even make its way down for a wave 3, 4, 5. Kind of lacking a little bit on time because we really only have, about 20 hours until the news actually comes out tomorrow. So we'll see if it even has enough time to do this between now and tomorrow, but this definitely looks like it needs to go down again. So I am thinking that there's a pretty good chance that it will end up going back down, at least temporarily. Oh wow, look at gold go. Awesome. I think, I'm sure most of you have seen my top-down analysis videos, but I want to go up to the monthly time frame just because I think that's where the clarity is for gold. I definitely think this is a wave 1, I definitely think this is a wave 2, and I definitely think we're currently in a wave 3. Most likely place for a wave 3 to go is the 161% Fibonacci extension of wave 1 projected out the bottom of wave 2. So the 61.8 Fibonacci extension is right around the 2550 area, $2,550. I am still a very big believer that this is going to go up, hit that 61.8 at least minimum, and it possibly could go even higher than that before we see a wave 4 and before we see a wave 5. And this is the monthly time frame, so you have to keep in mind that this is potentially anywhere from like 8-10 months to maybe a year and a half out before this trend is actually over. So it's going to be a long time before this uptrend is actually over, in my opinion. So going down to the weekly, this is all just subdivisions of a wave three. Going down to the daily, I definitely think that this is a wave one, two, three, four, five of A. I definitely think this is like a double zigzag wave B. We have a nice break of structure. I think this is the end of a wave C. It's a running flat wave C because it's a higher high than the wave A. I think, just like I've been saying for quite a while, that break of structure confirms to me that the wave C is over, and I think we're back into the uptrend. I think we're on our way to the $2,550 area at this point. I mean, it's not just going to shoot up there in one big go, but there's going to be plenty of pullbacks along the way. But it is definitely holding above structure really nicely. I would say that the chances of this being the end of a wave C and the chances of this pushing up towards the $2,550 area is very, very high. Definitely seems to me like that's going to be the most likely scenario. So that is definitely what I'm looking for on that. I think there is a very, very good chance that this is going to end up doing that. So I would for sure be looking for longs on gold, man. There was a beautiful long on gold today. And during my afternoon Zoom meeting, I do Zoom meetings every single day. And during my New York session Zoom meeting, I said to everybody, this looks like a correction. And look where it went, right down to the nice valley-based rally area. Man, what a beautiful entry that was. It wasn't really the most perfect thing because it wasn't an ABC. It was more like a motor wave correction. That's definitely a trend right there. That's not like a proper ABC correction, but that was definitely the end of a correction. Nice impulsive move up, nice break of structure would have been your clue that the correction really was over. And now we're back into the uptrend. I would 100% now be trying to go short. I would 100% be looking for longs in an uptrend, definitely. So now we did gold, we did the euro dollar, we did the pound dollar. So now I'm going to start taking requests from the audience. If there's something you would like me to look at, definitely put it in the group. I'd be more than happy to check out basically anything. I would definitely appreciate it if you would join my Discord channel. It is 100% free to join. You never have to pay a dime if you do not want to. There's a lot of really good traders in there that are really willing to help each other out. The link for that is in the chats and in the description. So let me start off at the top. Let's see here. Who was the first one on the go today? Looks like Skywick with the Aussie dollar was the first one. I think Skywick loves that Aussie dollar, don't you? The Aussie dollar really looked like it was going to push down, but so far it definitely hasn't done it. I'm looking at $2,550 on gold. If you just saw my monthly time frame analysis, I definitely think 2,550 is definitely in the cards on gold. 2,550. That's my target for the wave three, and it potentially could go even higher than that. So the Aussie dollar is definitely in an uptrend, and there's a reason why I don't look for counter trend trades that often because a lot of the times when you're in an uptrend on like the daily, weekly, and monthly, you'll go down to the 1 hour time frame and you'll be expecting to see a move to the downside. And what happens, it just makes a little push down and just keeps going up. Makes a little push down, just keeps on going up. I mean, if you were just focused on longs ever since this thing turned back here, right in the middle of whatever it was, middle of March or whatever, you would be making so much money right now if you were doing nothing but looking for longs in an uptrend on this thing. Now, I understand that people really do not like to trend trade. People just love to counter trend trade, which is really nothing wrong with that. But I just think that you really need to always be primarily focused on the higher time frame trends. I definitely still think this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. I definitely still think this looks like a what big A, B, C, or B. This looks like it should have made a wave C. Just like I've been saying, it looks like it should have gone down and taken out these lows to make a wave C, but it still has yet to do it. And honestly, this thing literally could just keep on trending up, just like I've been saying in my videos. It looks like it needs to go down and make a wave C. But does it have to go down and make a wave C? When you're in a wave 3 on the daily, weekly, and monthly, my old mentor used to call it the blasting effect. When you have a turn on the very high time frames, you go down to like the 4 hour, 1 hour time frame, and you'll say to yourself, man, that looks like it's going to go down. But then instead, because it's an uptrend and it's a strong uptrend on such a high time frame, when what ends up happening is it just makes a little push down and just keeps going up. So there's a reason, like I said, why I definitely trade with the trend because you have a way higher probability of being a winning trader when you're trading with the trend. Definitely, in my opinion, 100%. Buy high, sell low. I mean, honestly, really, that's really about the size of it. So I personally would be looking for longs. I do not disagree that it looks like it's missing a wave C, just like the other dollar pairs. It looks like it should go down, but is it going to go down? I honestly don't. I'm not really convinced it is. It kind of seems like it's going up. Kind of seems like it might just keep going up. We got like a quad bottom right here too, like 4 or 5 bottoms all in a row right there. So seems pretty bullish to me. Definitely seems pretty bullish to me. So, I mean, I definitely, just like I would have been this whole time, I definitely would be looking for logs. I mean, there's been all kinds of long opportunities. I mean, every single one of these little trades right here, especially if you're trading below the 1 hour time frame, would have been so profitable. I mean, even some of these smaller pushes up would be pretty dang profitable. It's right in there, right in here, right back here. There was so many places to go long, and there were definitely some very, very profitable trades. Now, don't get me wrong. There's definitely some money to be made on the short side on the one, below the 1 hour time frame, but you have a way higher probability of being correct and being profitable when you're trading with the trend, for sure. We already looked at gold. We started off, we looked at the euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold. So we already looked at gold. Normally, at the end of my live stream, I do take another quick look at the euro, pound, and gold just because they are the most popular pairs and people do love them. So I probably will take another quick look at gold at the end. But as of right now, we definitely want to go through the list and check out things that people would like me to check out that I haven't looked at yet, like the US dollar Swiss for Zen. I kind of feel like there's a good chance that this US dollar Swiss is going to go up again. I think all the Swiss pairs are going to go up again, personally. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. I think this is potentially a 1, 2, 3 pattern. We're sitting pretty much at the 38%. I think there's a pretty good chance this could go up. I definitely don't think it's quite ready to go up yet, but boy, it's getting very, very, very close. Wave 1, wave 2, big wave 3. I think we're in a wave 4 right now, which will probably go up at least one more time to finish the 4. And I think that we'll get another push down for the wave 5. So after that, which it possibly could push down lower, I mean, it doesn't have to stop here, it could go lower. But once we get that 3, 4, 5 shape, once we get that Fibonacci bounce, once we get that break of structure, that's going to be the end of an ABC in my eyes. This first move down right here is a wave A. I think this is like an expanding flat for a wave B, and I think this is a wave C. Like I said, it definitely could push lower. It could push to the 50 or even the 61.8. But once we get the end of a trend, which you can definitely tell when a trend is over if you know how, then that should be the end of a correction and it should be the continuation of the uptrend. So for now, I mean, it depends on what time frame you're looking at also, because I mean, you might even get a little bit of a long on these sort of time frames. I would definitely expect this to go up more. I would definitely expect it to go up at least to there. And there was a big bullish candle right here, which may even need to be filled. So you might get a pretty decent little push up, but I definitely think down is the direction overall. And honestly, the trend is down, so it literally could just push up to here and then just keep going down pretty easily. The trend is definitely, definitely down on this. And to me, it really looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it needs a wave 5. So, I mean, if you're trading the short time frames, you could definitely try to go long for the wave C. But I would definitely keep in mind that you need to primarily focus on going short for the wave 5 for the continuation of the downtrend. So, let's keep going. Divine, let's check out the Yo Aussie for Divine. It's definitely pushing down really hard, but I mean, I'm not gonna let these intraday fluctuations mess with me too much. I've been long on this Yo Aussie for about 2 weeks now or more. I still think there's a pretty good chance that it's going to go up here and make a wave C, because to me this looks like a big old wave A. This looks like a big WXY or ABC, whatever you want to call it, for a wave B. And I still think it looks like it needs to make an uptrend for a wave C, so I'm definitely still looking at that as a very likely possibility. Like I said, I've been long on this for 2 weeks now. Boy, it's definitely pretty impulsive, but like I said, I'm not getting out for any reason now. Definitely not. I need to see a break of structure to really confirm that this is going up. So far, there's not really any confirmation, and like I've been saying in my members group these last few days, which if you would like to participate in my members live streams, my members Zoom meetings that I do every single day, then the website is right here, fxpipcollector.com. But I've been saying for quite a while now that until this actually breaks structure, the trend is technically kind of down, and it could technically at pretty much any time it could continue down. Now I'm still long, and I still hope, and I still think that there's a pretty good chance that it is going to keep on going up. But until it actually breaks and holds above that structure, that's technically could turn into a downtrend anytime. Hmm. Boy, it definitely looks like a big old ABC right here. This looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5A. Looks like this is a wave B. It looks like this is like an ending diagonal type thing for a wave C. Kind of looks like this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. Kind of looks like this is just an A, B, C, and that it's going to go up once the wave C is over. Kind of looks like this is going to continue the uptrend. I may have a little bit of a bias because, like I said, I have been long for about 2 weeks now on this, but I definitely think that this is gonna. I think there's a pretty good chance it is gonna go up for sure. So let's see here. What do we got going on? Like I said, if anybody has any requests, definitely put them in the chats. I'd be more than happy to look at anything. If anybody would like me to look at anything, let me just if let me just say the same thing on Discord. So let's keep going. Let's see what's next. Who's next on the list? We did the dollar. No, we didn't do the dollar CAD. Ooh, the dollar CAD's pushing down. Good. I'm short on the dollar CAD. This is another trade that I did provide to my members this week. Honestly, there hasn't been that many trades for me this week. It's been kind of sideways for the dollar, and I don't really mess around with sideways markets, but I definitely think that this is likely still a wave one. I still think this is likely an A, and this is three waves down. I think it's likely a B. I think this is likely an uptrend for a C. I think this is likely three waves down for a D, and I think this is likely a wave E. I'm thinking that the wave E may already be over too, and if that's the case, then this is just going to keep on trending down. And on the higher time frames, or if you zoom out on the daily, you have to zoom out quite a ways, but I think this is likely to go down quite a ways to either the 100% Fibonacci extension or the 123 Fibonacci extension. I think this is an A. I think this is an A of B. I think this is a B of B, and I think we need to make a wave C of B, which would probably look like that, and then I think we need to go up for the bigger wave C. So I think that we do have a lot of downside potential on this thing, definitely. Going down to the 4 hour time frame, definitely a nice little five-way pattern down. And then this move up is definitely a trend. This move down is definitely three waves. This move up is definitely a trend. This move down is definitely three waves. This move up is definitely five waves, a trend, which is why I think that this wave E is already over, and I think there's a pretty good chance this thing's going to continue to downtrend. I've been short on this since yesterday, I believe, and yeah, yesterday right after the Canadian news is when we took the short on this. Yeah, I ended up going short right around here. I ended up scaling out of part of my position down here, so I'm risk free on this trade already, and I'm still short, still holding my shorts. Kind of looks like it is trying to end the correction. I mean, that's boy, the Canadian loves to make those little railroad patterns. That's actually three candles in a row almost. Down, up, down, all over the place, kinda in a way. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's for sure. I'm short already, so I'm definitely expecting it to go down more. Hopefully, it keeps on going down. It looks like it should go down. And the reason for why, for me, is mostly because of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with that big spike at the trend line. I think it needs to go down, break structure, and start a downtrend. Now, with tomorrow being non-farm payroll, and we have some really important Canadian news tomorrow, we got non-farm payroll tomorrow on Friday, and we got some pretty important Canadian news tomorrow. So it'd be interesting to see what it does. Hopefully, it keeps on going down. Seems like it definitely should. And I'm kind of expecting the dollar to keep going down too. So I think there's a pretty good chance that we will continue to downtrend. I think this is the wave E right here, the top of the wave E. So let's see what else we got. Let's look at the pound yen for Karo. Let's see, pound yen. Kind of a critical point right now on these yen pairs. Now, if I was just looking at structure alone, not really thinking too much about earlier wave, I would actually kind of think that this would go down more. But we have not hit this higher time frame, weekly time frame Fibonacci level yet. And honestly, this kind of looks like a little 1, 2, 3 pattern. It kind of looks like a crescent to me. So I still think there's a pretty good chance that this is going to go up, in my opinion. Yeah, it kind of looks like it should. Kind of a critical point right now, like I said. I mean, whether it really is going to go down or not. I mean, if I was looking at this as just structure alone, I would actually say that the trend is down because this move was definitely very, very engulfing. And so far, it definitely hasn't taken out the high of the previous candle. And so far, it definitely hasn't broken structure to the upside yet. Technically, we don't have a break of structure to the upside yet. The last structure is right here. So I would almost argue that the trend is actually down on this thing, unfortunately. It looks like a wave A. It looks like a wave B. It looks like a wave C. It looks like it's complete. It may just end up pushing down a little bit more, and maybe this is actually an ABC correction, and then it goes up like that. Like this is a wave 1. Potentially this would be like a wave 2, and then it pushes up for a wave 3. Definitely a possibility. Let's take it down to the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it looks like it wants to go up, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, if it starts to make an impulsive move up, then that's 1, 2, 3 waves down, higher, low, higher, low. So if it does make an impulsive engulf and move to the upside, I would definitely say that it's back on the longs for us. If it actually does end up going down and breaking this structure, I would actually say that this is potentially going to go down and take out these lows. So I'm really trying to pay attention to structure. Unfortunately, most of the time these yen pairs turn and move in the Asian session, and the Asian session for me is like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that's why I haven't really been trading these yen pairs that often. Just because most of the really good turns happen in the middle of the night, like this turn down here happened at 2 o'clock in the morning my time. So yeah, sometimes it makes some nice turns, but this turn right here happened about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning my time too. So it likes to move it during the Asian session, definitely. So if you are, in Asia, or even if you're in the U.S., Asian session is at like 8 o'clock in the evening in the U.S. It's very, very convenient time zone. So I would be paying attention to structure big time. Like I said, if it breaks this structure, then definitely it's probably going to keep going down. If it makes a higher low and starts to make an engulf and move up and engulfs the previous candle, I would probably try to get long again because it potentially really is the end of a correction, and potentially it's just going to keep on trending up. So if it is going to do that, then I would try to get long again for sure. So if anybody has any requests, definitely put them in the chats. I'd be more than happy to look at basically anything. If not, then might have to, like I always say, the more requests I got coming in, the longer I stay on. So if you have something you would like me to look at, definitely put in the chats. I'll be more than happy to look at basically anything. I don't really mind looking at crypto pairs. I can look at the stock market, look at some indices. I just recently started trading indices myself. I've always only traded Forex, but I just recently started trading these indices. I'm actually short. I've been short on the JPY pretty much all day, the JPY 225, and I went short on the. Was it? Hmm. Yeah, let's see. Is that the right one that I went short on? Oh yeah, I did. And I think wow, boy, I think I didn't do my position sizing right because boy, I'm only down $2 on that trade. I must not have entered a very good position. Hmm. Let me check that out real quick. Now I'm thinking about it. I went short on this earlier, and I think I messed up my position size. And I just recently started trading these things. Oh yeah. Eh, yeah, I definitely messed up my position sizing on that one. I'm only down $2. Jesus, that's definitely not a very big trade. That's funny. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get used to trading some of these indices. The risk is a little bit different on these, I feel like, compared to the Forex pairs. But I still, think there's a good chance that this could go down because, boy, it looks like a downtrend. It looks like corrective up. It looks like it should potentially go down again. So we're going to have to see how that turns out, I guess. Let's see here. Let's go back to the full list. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's too many requests coming in today. I guess we could check out oil real quick. A lot of people are interested in oil. Wow. I mentioned to my group earlier today that oil was probably going to hit the 38%, and look where it did. I definitely still think oil is in a downtrend on a much higher time frame, so I would definitely potentially still be looking for shorts. We just hit a Fibonacci level, which is why it probably went up so hard today. You know, that's a 50% Fibonacci level right there. That's a pretty big deal. I got my Fibonacci retracement right here, and I would definitely still be looking for shorts on these at the end of a recognizable pullback, which I definitely don't think this is a. This is definitely a trend. I would say this is almost definitely just a wave A. I would also say that it's probably going to go down, but it's just going to be a wave B, and then I think there's a pretty good chance it'll go up for a C. It might, at this point, it's probably likely to go all the way up to here, actually, especially with how strong that wave A is. Probably likely to go up to like the 50 to 61.8 before it actually ends up pushing down. So, I mean, if you are trading the sort of time frames, you could definitely be looking for longs until you get more confirmation that this is actually over. Definitely looks like a trend. One, two, three, four, five. Probably is going to stop pulling back at some point. Make some sort of a wave B, which will probably take out the low of wave 4. And then probably it's going to end up going up at least one more time, probably to 50 to 61.8. I expect this to be an ABC correction to the downtrend. So we'll see how that turns out. Definitely seems like that should be the case. Yeah, hey KZ, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, let's check out the pound Aussie for KZ. I've been long on the pound Aussie for 2 weeks also, the same amount of time as the Yo Aussie, and I've actually entered this thing twice. I'm long on this twice. Just like the Yo Aussie, I'm expecting that this is going to make a wave C. I think that this is potentially a regular flat, one, two, three waves down for an A, one, two, three waves up for a wave B. And a regular flat usually goes to around 90% of the wave A, so it might even go a little higher than that. It potentially might even go like in between here somewhere, but this is my conservative target, which is right there at the 100% Fibonacci extension. Going down to the 4 hour time frame. Like I said, I've been long. I originally got a long way back here somewhere. I'm long right here. I'm up I'm currently up a lot. Let's see here. I'm currently up 192 pips on one trade and 47 pips on another trade. So definitely really profitable trades. Kind of looks like it could be trying to make like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't it? Possibly it is going to end up going down to this structure right here. Possibly. Definitely. Now, if we were in a big old uptrend on the higher time frames, it may actually just make another higher low and just keep on trending up. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did go down, break structure, make some sort of an ABC before it actually did go up, because it definitely does look like 5 waves, 100%. So we'll see what it ends up looking like. I'm long already, and I'm gonna be long again if it gives me a chance. I'm gonna be adding to the winning trades for sure, 100%. Yeah, like I said, this possibly is a wave 5 right here, and if it is a wave 5, then possibly it is going to go down break structure, but I honestly wouldn't count on that because of what I see on the higher time frames. I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was just another ABC correction and this was actually just going to keep on going up. I definitely would be looking for longs because the daily time frame is definitely in an uptrend. So I definitely would be primarily looking for longs, there's no doubt about that. Let's check out Bitcoin real quick. I think Bitcoin is also pretty dang clear what it's been doing lately. I think Bitcoin is likely to be a wave A, a wave B, and a wave C of wave 4. I think this right here is a wave 3. I think this is an ABC of 4, and I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 5. So I think we're in a wave 5 of wave 5 right now. I think this is potentially going to go up to $74,000, which is right at the 50% Fibonacci retracement or extension. And yeah, I definitely think we're still going up. I think this is extremely clearly a wave one, a wave two, a wave three. We just had the end of a wave four last week. I think we're in a wave five right now, and I'm not really convinced that it's over. I'm definitely still looking for longs in an uptrend. Hey, Vidget, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I can check that out for you, no problem. So I would expect this to be an ABC correction, and I would expect this to be a wave A. I would expect this to be a wave B. Definitely looks like it's getting ready to go down for a wave C, and then I would expect to see another long. My target is right around $74,000 on Bitcoin. So I'm definitely would be looking at that as potentially more long opportunities in the near future. So let's see. Let's go check out the US dollar yen for Vidget. Yeah, I honestly am starting to think more and more that this dollar yen is going to go down because of what I was talking about in today's meeting. I feel like there's a pretty good chance it's going to go down. It really looks like an ABC correction. It really looks like it could just keep going up on the higher time phase, but for some reason, there's just something about it that kind of makes me think that it might just keep going down because this looks like a trend, this looks like a correction, this looks like a trend. If we get the end of this third trend already, then there's no way that it's a 1, 2, 3. It basically has to be an ABC. So, I mean, if this is an ABC, then it potentially would go down, take out these lows, and potentially go down to one of these lower Fibonacci levels. So, I definitely still think that is a possibility. I actually think it's a pretty good possibility. Going down to the 1 hour time frame, so I mean, honestly, I would probably have my Fibonacci retracement from here to here. I'm not going to put it on because I don't really even trade the short time frames, the 1 hour time frame and below. But yeah, I would definitely be looking at this as five waves up. And if that is the end of a trend, and if it does break this structure, I think that's the end of this trend right here. That if that is the end of a trend, then it cannot be a wave one, a wave two, and a wave three. If we get the end of a trend already, then it basically has to be a wave A, a wave B, and a wave C, and potentially at that point, it's going to end up going back down like that. So I would be paying attention to this wave four structure. If it breaks and holds below that structure, I would definitely go short, look for shorts, because at that point it probably is going to end up continuing the downtrend for sure. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for that. Seems pretty dang likely to me. Let's see. So, yeah, like I said, tomorrow is a really big day for the dollar. We got non-farm payroll, unemployment numbers coming out tomorrow, and we also have unemployment and unemployment rate and unemployment change for the Canadian pair as well. So tomorrow's definitely going to be a pretty big day for the dollar and the CAD. And this is coming out at 1:30 in the afternoon UK time. And at 1:30 in the afternoon UK time, I will be in a Zoom meeting with all my premium members. Now, this is my website, fxpipcollector.com, and if you are interested in becoming a member, this is the website and this is how you join. It's $30 a month, but with only $30 a month, you do get a lot for your money because you do get access to my trading course, which is 35 videos, and then, like I said, tomorrow during the news, I'm going to be in a Zoom meeting with all my premium members because we start our meetings at 1 o'clock UK time. So a lot of these news events that you see that come out at the beginning of New York session, pretty much all of the news events, we are in a Zoom meeting at the time of the news event. So every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do a 90-minute to 2 hour Zoom meeting for the New York session. Every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do a 90-minute Zoom meeting for the London session. And this is all about live analysis and live trading. We enter trades in these meetings all the time. You have to be aware that I am definitely not a scalper and I'm not even really a day trader. I'm definitely more of a swing trader for sure. So if you do join my membership, just be aware that I'm not going to be on the 5 minute, 1 minute, or even 30-minute time frames. I'm not going to be on like the 1 hour to 4 hour time frame looking for trades. But I like to call it learn and earn at the same time because hopefully while you're learning to trade by taking my trading course, participating in my meetings, you're going to be earning by following along with some of my swing trades. Now, I do provide every single swing trade I take, I provide to the group at the time of entry. This is my Discord channel right here, and when you become a member, you get access to all these channels right here. Now, this swing trade slash day trade channel is where I provide all my entries. And if you want, you can pause the live stream and just take a look at these. These are the entries that I provided with my group this week. A couple of the entries I didn't do screenshots for. There was a couple of the trades that I got in that I just, just did this. I just told people where the stop loss was. A lot of the trades I hold over the weekend. As you can see, I held all these trades over last weekend. So these are the trades that I provided with the group at the time of entry. So far, there's only been about 4 or 5 entries. Like I said, it's been a little bit of a slow week, but for a swing trader, that's pretty common. Definitely very, very common. And like I said, it is only $30 a month, and you can cancel at any time. Very, very, very cheap membership for sure. So if anybody's interested, the link for that is in the description of the live stream, but it's pretty easy to remember. And it's also on the screen right now. It's right here, fxpipcollector.com. If you're not interested in the membership, I definitely would highly suggest you at least join my Discord channel, because the Discord channel is 100% free to join. The link for the Discord channel is also in the chats, and it's also in the description of the video, but it's also on the screen up here. It's discord.gg/FXPipCollector. So definitely check it out. It is 100% free to join, and I do giveaways on my Discord channel, usually every month or so. I do last month I did a 100 USDT giveaway. I gave away $100 to one of my members for doing absolutely nothing but being a member of a free community. So definitely join up. I think what I'm going to start doing is basically people that are really active in the group are going to be the most active members of a group are going to be put into a pot, and whoever is active in the group and whoever is helping each other out is going to, those are the people that are going to have a chance of winning 100 USDT. So I think my next giveaway is going to be a giveaway for active members of the group, people that are, active in the community, people that are willing to help each other out. And I think that will be a really good way to, get people more active, and a really good way to, get people helping each other out. So if you are a member of my community, it is 100% free to join. And if you're helping out the community and being a valid member of the community, I think my next giveaway is going to be a 100 USDT giveaway for active members of the group. So yeah, anyways, we got a very busy day tomorrow, so definitely make sure that you prepare yourself for tomorrow. We got all kinds of news going on. Like I said, I will be in a Zoom meeting tomorrow with my members at the time of the non-farm payroll news that we got tomorrow. And the meeting starts at 1 o'clock GMT plus 1 UK time, and the news comes out at 1:30 UK time. So I will be in a live stream tomorrow at the time of the news. So if anybody is interested in joining the membership, it's definitely worth the money. I mean, it's extremely cheap anyways. It's only $30 a month, which is extremely, extremely cheap. So yeah, I guess since there's no more requests coming in, I think I'm going to call it here. I do these live streams every single day of the week except for Monday. I do them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm not a crypto trader, so I definitely don't do any trading on the weekends. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do Zoom meetings for my members. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do live streams for the community. So definitely make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so that way you get notified of my live streams. And yeah, if you have any requests, definitely stop in and put your request in there, and I'd be more than happy to look at basically anything. So as always, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the day, and thank you for coming, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the Friday live stream. As always, thank you and happy